Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this Tech Talk. My name is David Espejo, and I'm pretty glad to be here. This is my second year with a Tech Talk during VMworld. And thanks to the vBrownbag community for setting up this space. I really enjoy it. As per the title of my presentation, I'm assuming that most of you have read the original book, A Tale of Three Kings. It's a classic. One of the conclusions of the book, in my opinion, is that the best out of the three kings is King David. Well, unlike the book, here I do not intend to tell you which one of these three solutions is the best, because as always in every comparison, it depends on the use case, but we will see some interesting conclusions. So this is kind of the agenda, the topics that we will be discussing during this session. And first of all, why another comparison? Why is this relevant in this moment? Well, first of all, this topic began as a short research process that we perform in my current employer, which happens to be a service provider. We needed to deploy a VDI solution, multi-tenant, self-service, massive VDI solution, and we are an organization that strongly believes in the power of automation, of orchestration, in the infrastructure as a code way of thinking. So we wouldn't like a solution which is point and click, and you have to hire a person just to point and click. We wanted to automate the whole life cycle of the service. So that is some of the motivation and the why of this comparison. So as we see it, we are in the face of some challenges in the market of VDI. We see that from time to time, it's becoming less important, the specifics of the VDI solution. That's why this is not a comparison of protocols, for example. This is not another comparison of PCOIP versus RDP versus Citrix ICA, because you can find it on the internet, and I think that it's, from time to time, it's becoming less important. We see in this moment in the market a rising, the rise of the closed platform orchestration and management. It's becoming less important which VDI platform you use. It's more important to automate and manage multi-platform VDI solution. So with that in mind, this is a comparison of a subset of features, and mainly those who are exposed to software, to orchestration software and automation interfaces. So first of all, how do you make a comparison? Well, with a table. I'm not going to read it, but some important points are that as we understand it, there's a basic form of automation interface, which is a software development kit. It's the most rustic, most basic interface of programming. And the three solutions provide you with PowerShell-based development kits. We love PowerShell. We do use it. It's an everyday tool. So it's pretty good that it's outside. But the next level of automation interface is the presence of an application programming interface that provides you with a tool to to develop extensibility for your product or your platform. And in that space, only VMware View provides the View Composer API for array integration, which is a way to offload to the storage array the handle of the linked clones. In this moment, Citrix Xendesktop and Microsoft VDI, they don't provide any way of API for third-party integration apart from the SDK. Now, for the orchestration capabilities, each one of the vendors has their own offering. I have to say that vCenter orchestration is evolving to integrate with Horizon View in deeper ways. It will be it will make sense to conclude that the Horizon View is the best product because we are in a VMware event. But I'm trying to be, critical. I'm trying to give a independent point of view, but when I try to beat VMware View, they keep up the pace with the competition. In the self-service multi-tenant portal, and this feature could not be necessary for your use case. It's necessary for service provider if you see your VDI deployment as a private cloud. Each one of the vendor offer a solution. I'm not going deep in features of each one, but it exists. There is an offering of every vendor. As for the limitations, I will say that VMware View rocks, but they lack a product-wide API. As you see, there's an API for View Composer, but there's not currently an API that can manage the whole Horizon suite in a simple manner. And it's good that I have Alan Renouf in the crowd, so he can receive my feedback. Well, as you can see, if Citrix Xendesktop doesn't offer an API, you need to develop your own middleware to make calls and receive responses, to automate the deployment and the life cycle of the service. Well, Microsoft VDI, it's the engine behind all of this. You know, VMware View, if you deploy an RDS pool, or Citrix Xendesktop, if you deploy an RDS or a remote desktop services pool, well, it uses the Microsoft engine. But by itself, Microsoft VDI doesn't offer a strong engine of automation or orchestration for the VDI product compared with what offers, for example, VMware View. Well, another thing that is important, in our opinion, in the rise of the software-defined data center is the ability to be policy-driven. You know, a platform and product has to be policy-driven. So in the field of policy management, Citrix offers the Citrix Policy Engine, which is basically Active Directory or GPO policies that control connection, security, and bandwidth settings. It works on top of GPO. In fact, if you need to enable some feature, you need to enable it first in GPO, in Active Directory. VMware View provide ADAM templates that control security, connection, and bandwidth settings. And as you may know, with the release of vSphere 5.5, we have this storage policy-based management that can manage the placement of the VDI deployment, the placement of the desktops in the right storage array or right storage constructs, which is a great part of the success of a VDI deployment. And well, as Microsoft VDI, they say we have placement rules and availability sets. That is kind of a DRS, as we know it. Well, mobile device management is another, it's another trend, another topic that is important to know. And well, as you may know, VMware recently acquired AirWatch, and that has the widest enterprise integration in the market. You gotta look at it because it has a deep integration with most of the enterprise solutions currently available. And most important for this comparison, has an SOA, an API, SOA compatible, or SOA compliant, and REST API available. So this is very important. It's an interface, easy to use, widely available to automate the life cycle of the process of the product. Citrix and Mobile is a huge product. It's one of the jewels of Citrix. It has also a web services API that also is SOA compliant. And they have this product, WorksApp, that has an SDK also based in PowerShell for centralized mobile app deployment. And Windows, Microsoft has Windows Intune. That is a subscription-based service that you need to integrate with System Center Configuration Manager. And they only offer an SDK for Windows Phone 8. Wonder why. So, some conclusions. First of all, VMware Horizon Suite stands out. in terms of orchestration, in terms of interfaces for extensibility. Citrix, well, turns out that has a strong offer in the enterprise mobility management space. But, well, as you may know, the AirWatch acquisition will influence the weight of VMware in this market. And, well, Microsoft is a hero in this space because they provide the engine for the RDS services that most of the solution leverages, but they need to work a lot in their management tools to keep up the pace with the other vendors. That's it. Thanks so much.